Hey, Malachi here with another one of his quick tips for the people here. We got the BMWs and whatnot, and you get the classic case of one of those situations where apparently the little connector thing here, the doobie-dauber here is click. We're putting a new radiator hose on here because we had some leakage up here, had some leakage out here, and I found the leakage. One of the problems was the little thing that's supposed to be in this for this heater hose that clicks into the bottom of the radiator hose. Fucking MIA, missing. Now, you can find the BMW, you can get this in that. This is just a nipple that clicks on. However, most of the time you got to order it, it's a hard pain in the ass. So, I'm not saying this is going to fit on all BMWs. I'm saying this fits a 2010 BMW Z4 3-liter turbo, blah, blah, blah. Now, I know before you fucking yell at me and say, you fucking gotta get the German ones made in Czechoslovakia, and if you don't get the European ones, you're gonna fucking get ripped off, it's gonna blow up, and it's made in China, and fuck you. Well, I'm in a situation of piss with the cock you got, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, or fucking with the cock you got. So there's your part number, 627002, Dorman, Hensho in China. Whatever that's supposed to fucking mean. So, if you need one of these, most of these connectors like this actually are available. You can get just this if you can find the part number for it. So this was just a little there, and this thing had just been like with barely on there and clamped down with a clamp and whatnot. So you can see she had been leaking. So we're going to fix this little leak up here. We just put a high pressure power steering pump on this. I actually made a video on this. I'm not going to fucking post it because it really don't matter. There's better videos than what I had made. But really, they got the freaking air box. You pop this little line off here, take the whole thing out of here, just a couple right there. There's really not much to it. I think might be a vacuum line off it. I'm not really sure. I don't think so. But you pop all this stuff off here. You can do it without taking out the intake if you want. You can do it. It is possible. You just don't fucking want to. Just take out the freaking 6 freaking nuts and 1 bolt on your intake. Use a little bit of WD-40, disconnect your charge pipe and all the other stuff. It's not rocket science. It's pretty fucking easy for most of this. And you can get her all apart, put her all together. Don't even need the intake completely out. You just kind of push it off to the side. 3 bolts on it, a couple of lines, 17 millimeter high pressure lines. They're real simple to do. You need an E12 Torx for the hold down on the line for the feed line into the pump. That's no big deal. There's like a 13 millimeter bolt for holding the core, the power cord to the starter. You don't need the starter out. You don't even need to disconnect the batteries on this job. You disconnect your fuel line up here at the fuel rail. I was lucky and able to reuse the fuel rails. Most of the time you can. Every now and then you run into one where you try and reseal it and you torque it down, and you got the piddle diddles everywhere for the thing. So you have to replace the line. And those do not appear to be available at the part stores. So you got to get them on the internets, on the webs. So peace out, bitches. Hope somebody learned something. I fucking wasted your time. Who knows?